What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fair Use. And today, this particular sister divested from black men to end up dealing with black women. Okay, so just follow the series of reactions, guys. Let's get into the video.
This is how I also further know the black community is dealing way too much in emotion and not reasoning. I told y'all I was divesting from black men. Gave y'all statistics over multiple videos. Multiple different black women from all different parts of life have all congregated in all those comment sections to concur and add their 2 cents in and their experience. I am too educated. I listen to black women. I have a reasoning brain that I can separate my emotions from. This is why I divest. Black men as a whole are failing. And rather than hold them accountable and force them to succeed at anything other than running their mouth, y'all coddle and condone their failure. Make it make sense. You want unity, but they're not unified. Get them unified.
Okay, so you see this young lady, her name is Coco the lawyer, or Coco the lawyer, and she's saying that she's divesting from black men. And some of the things that she's saying, it's true. Black men as a whole are not united. Black men as a whole are doing not as well as they should as a group. But now, when we look at the divesting situation, you're divesting from the black community that helped create these particular men. They were born into whatever situation that they were born into, and you don't want to talk about how they got to where they are. Now, they're men now, and I'm not making excuses for them because men are accountable for their actions. But when they were little boys and teenagers, did they get to be these failing people by themselves? Most of them came from homes the father was not there. And who raised them? That's where the rubber meets the road. Yes, a lot of women raised these particular black men that failed as a group. That's the situation there, okay? Whether you want to look at it or not, they were raised in single parent homes. But then you don't want to say like, okay, well, the women that raised them are not at fault for how they turned out. But now, let's look at LeBron James, Kevin Durant. When these guys become successes, guess who takes the credit for that? Black women, right? When a black man comes from a single parent home and he does very well, black women get a lot of credit because she's strong and she's raised that guy. But once black men are not failing, they're doing very bad, the women who also created them, they're exempt from having anything to do with their development. Now, I also want to ask the sisters one question. If you're divesting from black men, then what is a better option for you? Are you gonna go to white men? Are you gonna go to Hispanic men? Are you gonna go to something else? What's a better option? Since you are divesting from black men, then you should be, because you're educated and you're smart, you should have a better community to go to, right? Let's find out. Let's go to the next clip.
Hi friends, I'm not really back. I'm still a ghost, but you know, here and there and everywhere. So I'm back to illustrate a point, one of the points as to why I don't know. I'm struggling with wanting to come back and actually create more content. And here's a glimpse into the reason why. So I'm logging back in to check notifications, just because I'm out of the office doesn't mean I can't check up on my emails. And I'm tagging the video. And it's a video of a black mother being verbally abusive to a black child. I was tagged in that video by a grown ass man, who looks like he is my father's age, and basically, tagging me to say, "What do you have to say about this? What about this? What about that?" And I blocked him. I really did. I blocked him because I wasn't going to respond to the foolishness and the nonsense and the dumbassery. What? Here's one thing that y'all need to understand in your quest to prove me wrong, even though no one has and no one can. But here's a pro tip, okay? If I'm speaking out against violence against children, why would black boys not be included in that? And why would all the abusers, whether they're male or female, not be included in the conversation? Just because I'm bringing up the behavior of a grown-ass man and a group of grown-ass men doesn't mean I don't hold other people accountable. And that's one of the other issues.
Okay, and so I want to talk about this because a lot of black men do get abused by their mothers, but then the failure to call this out and exonerate the mom is why the guy tagged her. This is what we're talking about. Because if these young men turn out to be worthless, then you'll say that black men are failing as a group. But now when the mother is attacking these young black boys and somebody brings that to your attention, what do you have to say about it? Then at that point, now you want to block him. But see, these failing group of men are coming from a situation, it could be, where there's no father in the home. And they didn't have a choice in the matter, right? But their environment also is helping them to become who they are, even though it's unfair to blame women solely for whatever happened. Because it's still in America, you have a great country, and you have the ability to be somebody for yourself. But now at the same time, when these young men are coming out and being unproductive because they've learned it at home, then all of a sudden, you only want to blame them for how they turned out and not for who helped them turn out for the way that they did. That's the problem. Let's find out more.
Issues. Y'all say, I only talk about men. I only talk about men. No, you only pay attention to the content I produce that pertain to men. That's two different things, boo. And I'm sorry you don't know the difference. I'm tired of dealing with this dumbass. People are so invested into proving people wrong. We can't have logical, coherent conversation around topics plaguing the black community. Because y'all just too dumb for me. I'm sorry. And I know y'all told me to stop apologizing.
Right, because whenever somebody brings out the issue of maybe you being hypocrite, then automatically that person is dumb. That's called an ad hominem attack because you don't want to argue the point. So in that situation, that guy is dumb for tagging you. But based on what you're saying, it doesn't make much sense. He's showing you how some of these guys become the untalented, I didn't say untalented, but failing as a group, how these guys come to that and you don't say anything about it. So all of a sudden he's dumb for proving you how this is the pathway in which some young black men end up.
Apologizing, but it's just like, I'm not comfortable with calling y'all dumb without saying sorry. And that could just be me being nice, because I really truly believe the vast majority of y'all on this app are dumb. And I'm talking about the group 25 and over. Yeah. So again, I'll say, if you ever find yourself disagreeing with anything that I say, you need to come with a PowerPoint presentation, an essay, or something with some facts, and not just how you feel on the inside, but actual facts about reality out in the world. If you can't do that, save your time and mine, bitch, and stay in your dumbass, bum-ass, dusty-ass lane. Okay? I'm going back to the office, ho. Bye.
But you want to have productive conversations and you're calling people the B word, you're calling people curse words, you're calling them dumb. That doesn't seem very intellectual to me. But let's go to the next video, and I want to make the point because remember, she's divesting from black men. Let's see who she ends up with.
Babe. Big Said had a question for you. He wants to know, do you pay all the bills?
No.
Okay, follow-up question for me. If you needed to pay all the bills, could you pay all the bills?
Absolutely.
Okay. Further follow-up question. Do you think I should be in charge of all the cooking and cleaning in the household?
No.
Do you desire for me to be a housewife?
Sometimes shit. But I know that's not you.
Do you desire to be a housewife?
Sometimes, shit, but I know that's not me either.
Look at us deciding how we want our relationship to run. What a concept. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay. So she is now in a relationship with what it appears is a black woman. All right. Now, black men have problems as a group. Black women also have problems as a group. But when you look at the women that have problems as a group, it seems like she was able to single this lady out to be not failing or having issues as a group. Because the black community has complete issues. You could say I want to divest from the black community. But she ended up with a black woman, which is interesting because they come from the same community that we come from, and you can pull out statistics that will prove some of the things that they say about us. But when it comes to personal choice, this woman is not like maybe some people that have negative stereotypes in the black community, which I don't have a problem with. But when it comes to black men, you have to divest from the group and then leave some of the individual people out there who will possibly like you or do very well for you. It's kind of like confirmation bias. You know what I'm saying? Because you can say the same thing about black women, like, oh, I don't want to deal with black women, I want to deal with somebody else, and then leave everybody as a group, but then you be missing out. See, it's the kind of stuff that I don't like. Yes, you have black men who have problems, for sure, but and she's a bisexual lady, but would she be able to find a black man that would be nice to her and that would talk to her and that would treat her nice? Absolutely. Just like anybody else. She was able to find it with a black woman, right? Absolutely. So then why do you have to diss the whole group just to end up with somebody from the black community that has the same systemic problems that we all have faced as the black community? The only way you can say it is confirmation bias, because black men and black women grow up in the same similar circumstances. Like, they see the same things. So, but what I'm saying is that people want to be able to divest from black men, or let's say black women, but then as it fits them, they can do whatever they want to do. And like I said, and you talk about you're from the black community, but you want to divest from your own people. That doesn't sound smart. If this was a black man on TikTok talking about he wanted to divest from black women, what would they do? They kick you off, right? Because it's hate speech. But you don't see that kind of attitude here. You see, it's confirmation bias. I can go and not deal with black men, but I can go and deal with black women. When these people are coming up, and when those same black women as a group are the ones who are usually the mothers, the single moms of these men that she's complaining about that are not doing very well. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you do that? Doesn't make much sense. But again, it only makes sense to a person that's like her in this round. You know, talk about you want to have intelligent conversations, but yet you're cursing at people, you're calling people the B word, you're just doing whatever you want to do. But guys, what do you think of this? Let me know in the comment sections. We out. Peace.